before I interrupt someone. Well, now we're going to start the first session of our Lighthouse Sessions. This is the first event that is actually directed to hub managers and people who run creative spaces, because this is what we do, and we felt that this was important also to tackle how to welcome these people, the kind of things that they bring with them, and what's the best way to address the situation as hub managers. And some of them have dealt with this in the past, and we believe this is something that's it's part of like building resilience. Some of you will deal with this more closely soon, and others may be requested to deal with this in the future. So we felt that creating the space to open this discussion and learning from each other would be a super helpful way also to ask questions to the people that are either going through that or have gone through similar situations in the past. So this is really, the goal is to create a conversation here. We have invited Gabriela from Boom Studios and Viorica from Artcor. And before everything, I want to thank them because they were just really available from the beginning and super happy to share their experiences. And I'm going to give you a little introduction about their backgrounds and why they were invited to be a part of this. I need to look at my notes. So I'll start with Viorica. Viorica is the CEO of Artcor, and it's the creative industry center in Moldova since 2019. She's also the co-founder of Yep Moldova. It's an early stage startup pre-accelerator and the founder of Nika Generation, an organization that develops entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial mindset in Moldova. She has 20 years experience in strategic and organizational development, worked at the Ministry of Economy, organizations for SME sector development in Moldova, had many partnerships and managed the state guarantee fund and implemented financing and grant programs for entrepreneurs. Am I saying this right, Viorica? She's alumni of an Israeli program for startup accelerators and entrepreneurial ecosystem. Since 2017, she's also PhD. Viorica is also at Artcor. They have been welcoming already some refugees for a while, which she will tell us about in a bit. And Gabriela, who comes from Boom Studios in Ireland. Hey. Gabriela is a freelance jeweler, creativity coach, and a member of Boom Studios, where she provides facility support, both in-house and online, for the local community of artists. Before starting her current role, Gabriela worked for 18 years in social services and participated on a great variety of projects involving support for migrants and asylum seekers, addressing mental health issues, and delivering person-centered supports to individuals with learning disabilities and autism, both in the UK, Denmark, and Czech Republic. Gabriela is currently focusing on supporting local creative communities and individual artists, developing their own practice and sharing the experience she has gained over the years. So this is the duo that we're lucky enough to have talking to us this morning. And I would start with Viorica, if you don't mind.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit. Hi.
I'm so glad to be here, and thank you for inviting us. It's great to have opportunity to share our experience. And it's interesting when Rita was reading about my background, I understood that I don't have anything related to creative industries, but a lot of experience in working with entrepreneurship. And probably that's why our Artcor is a little bit has this entrepreneurial part, and we are trying to develop and to help our artists and our creators to think as entrepreneurs. This lacks in Moldova. We are lacking these skills, and trying to different programs and to different initiatives to help them to have these skills and background. I would like also to say hello to Luca. Luca is our very good friend, and Artcor is working so well because of his expertise and his help. And Luca, we are remembering all the time, and we say that this is Luca, and Luca said that you have to take care. So thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Viorica, for nice words.
So Artcor, we opened Artcor in 2019, and I don't know if this is it was an opportunity for us or not, but we, after half of year, it started the COVID-19. So we, as a hub, we had a lot of challenges, no events, no people that had to be in our space. And this is practically how we developed with Luca our business model to to have money from events and from because we have spaces for conference, for concerts, and probably this from the beginning made us to think different and to make things different. So we started to implement programs, not only as a space, but as and I'd like to mention that I have a great team. We are now 6 people, but all of us have more than 10 years experience, so and with different background. So we started to help our creators and our communities. For example, I think in 1 month after COVID started, we launched the program. It is Go Online. So this is a program that connects small, very small entrepreneurs, very small businesses. In Moldova, everything was closed. We couldn't have stores, physical stores. So, and on other side, Moldova was very at the end of the line with e-commerce and with websites and with online sales. And we connected these very small companies, entrepreneurs, producers with the companies from the creative sectors. We found the resources for them, and this is how we made possible the connections between these two groups. We assured that the creative sector has some resources because everything stopped. Communication stopped, the budgets for marketing stopped from the private sector. And another part, our small, very small entrepreneurs that before had no chance to develop, they obtained some communication on a website, on social media, and this is our first reaction for the COVID. Regarding it was like a continuous challenges on these 3 years. And now in 24 February, when we thought that we are going to open our space for because COVID is now going down. We have very few cases of people that are ill. It was like finally we will have everything will be nice. We will have a nice summer and a nice spring. And with the beginning of the war, it was for all of us, it was very hard. It was unexpected, and I think this was a shock for all of us. In only 10 days, I just was refreshed my Facebook, and I saw a post that only in 10 days the population of Moldova grew up of 4%. So, it's like for 100 Moldovan inhabitants, we had more people from Ukraine. 50% of them were children. So this was like, it was, and when we saw how many people are coming, I think the government did a great job, and the community. I will explain how we deal it with this. But already on the next day, we launched a program for Ukrainian. We didn't call a program for Ukrainian refugees. It was like a program for Ukrainian friends that came in Moldova. And what we know that we have a space. So we had on the side, we had a lot of Ukrainian people that came in Moldova. On the other side, on the next day in Artcor, it was empty. So all Moldovans were already in Spain, in Portugal, and in other countries, European countries. A lot of people were scared. And we decided that if we have this nice space, we will know for sure that we will have professionals, because when we analyzed who is coming in Moldova, we understood that this is very high professionals. These are people that have very good backgrounds. For sure, they have a work. They used to have a work, so they have to continue because they have to live somehow. And we decided that we will open the space for free. And now, even now, after 2 months, we have Ukrainian professionals, designers, architects, from marketing people that are working for free in Artcor. On the other side, we understood that the most affected are moms, because they had to leave their husbands in Ukraine and their children. And so, as I said, on the next day, on 25th, we already announced that we are welcoming Ukrainian friends in Artcor. Monday, I think we had already 50 children in, and our space is, Luca knows, is not so big. It is not adapted for children. We have glasses, everything is very fancy. So it was a little bit a challenge for us, but, and we organized for children master classes for example, for painting, for performance acting, for storytelling, for character design, everything that is related to creative industries, but to involve these children in activities. Their moms had a space in co-working, so they had time to work, to chat with their families. And it was, I think that I'm not going to be now very modest. I think that we did a very good job, because this is what we could and what we have done without thinking. Just we felt that we have to do this. And another background is that in Moldova we had 3 from 4 Ukrainian refugees. Now I think that we can call like this, were invited in Moldovan houses. So they live almost they don't live in centers for refugees. They live in our houses. And what is important to say also is that now already 2,000 children are already involved in schools. So they go to physical schools. We understood that we don't have enough space for all the children in Moldova, because they were more than 50,000, I think. So with our partners, we decided to open an online school, and we made a call, children that want to go to school. We had more than 500 applications, but we also were connected with Ukrainian teachers that were in Ukraine, that are still stay in Ukraine, because we decided that it will be better for children to have their own curriculum, to speak with Ukrainian teachers. And this school, we organized this school for 1 month. Because after that, the Ukrainian Ministry of Education already started the normal process of education. But in this period of time, it was like for children and for the teacher, it was like an escape. And even we had feedbacks that my children in the first 10 days smiled, or you made a great thing. Teachers that the same said that you helping me to get out from this how to say, the feelings that everything is bad, and children are helping me. What I can say that now we are, I don't know if you heard, but people abroad are talking about Moldova like a small country with big heart. And what did the community, creative community, is in Moldova, we have population that is pro-Russian and pro-European. And because of this, we had to not to accept that people will start to fight of the politics on because you know that this is the best context to help the population to fight. So the government asked the creative sector to be involved and to help them for a communication campaign. And we did this for free. I think more than 50 people, the best one, the best creative agencies were involved here. And we started the campaign. I will show you. The campaign is Moldova for Peace. On 1st of March in Moldova, we have Marțișor. Marțișor is when you the spring starts, you put here 2 colors, red and white. So we changed this Marțișor, and you see this is the flag of Ukrainian, which will be like, and this is our Moldovan flag. So we just changed the Marțișor in this, and the campaign. It was I think it was a huge success in Moldova, because this united people, and it was like not and they started not to say that no war campaign, but Moldova for Peace, in order to bring all the people together and to help. So this is how we reacted. This is not only Artcor, this is in general how Moldova community and how we said that we stand with Ukraine, and how we try to help. Very shortly, briefly.
Yes, and do you have mostly the people who are in Moldova? Are they in transit? Are they like trying to go to continue to other places around Europe?
Yes, in total.
Or are they really looking forward to staying in Ukraine because also it's closer to their houses? So
through Moldova passed more than 400,000 people. Now we have almost 100,000 that still stay. Mm-hmm. These are, in general, most of them are moms with children. And also there are people that retired people that are not, it's hard for them to travel. Yes. But a lot of creative people decided that they want to go, and I know that people that were in Artcor, professionals left to Spain and to Portugal, because I know there is a very strong Ukrainian diaspora.
Yes, mm-hmm. Exactly. Thank you so much, Viorica. Wolf, I know you have to leave. It's a shame, but it happens. Thank you for coming anyway. It's good timing. Then we'll tell you how it went the rest of the session.
Thanks a lot, Rita, and also for the presentation. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you. So we're going to continue now, and we made this session long enough, so there's really room for all of you who are here to make your own questions directly. We really want to make this more like a conversation rather than a webinar or something like this. So I will now invite Gabriela to tell her story a little bit, which is it's different. It's from a different timing, from a different challenge at the time. So this will most likely enrich our discussion as well. And please, Gabriela.
Thank you, Rita. I was just thinking when Viorica mentioned that she realized that her background is not in creative industry at all, so mine is neither. I'm coming from the social work background, so it is actually really interesting that we landed here at the same time. Yeah, however, at this particular moment, I'm based in Northern Ireland, in Boom Studios, where Marianne's from. Hi. And yeah, as Boom is artist-led creative hub that provides space for artists and makers and designers. We have a large workshop where people can run their own classes and workshops and stuff like that. And we also like participate in different events within the community and that are happening here in the town. Geographically, we are very far from Ukraine, and we haven't felt the situation here yet, but that can change anytime, basically. But what has happened in Boom in relation to asylum seekers has been that in the beginning of this year, the Home Office, British Home Office, has moved 50 asylum seekers here in the town. And there has been quite an interesting response from the community here to it, where basically all elements or all organizations that could have somehow contribute into welcoming those people in the town and stuff like that got together and created a, I think, really well organized and very impressive response. There were people from, I don't know, police, healthcare professionals, to Boom Studios or charities, churches. Basically, the whole town just got together and kind of like figure out how to most efficiently respond to this situation, which we are still basically in the middle of. We are trying to set ourselves up. We are researching what are our options, fundings and stuff like that, so that we can in the future provide some sort of a space and welcome more people if needed. Mm-hmm. So from point of Boom Studios, this is where we are. From my personal point, I basically talked to you, Rita, when I saw that European Creative Hub Network is responding somehow to the situation in Ukraine and to the refugees that are coming in particular large numbers at the moment. For that reason, that my background is in social work. I started studying in 2002 in Prague. And ever since, I have been involved in all sorts of different projects that, as you could hear, either related to mental health or people with learning disabilities and autism, but also a large proportion of it has been somehow work with migrants, refugees, and asylum seekers. And even in the sense, like when I wasn't directly involved in some sort of a work with refugees or asylum seekers, people that are very close to me have been. So I have been in that environment for quite a long time. So it is nothing new for me from this point of view. Yeah.
And what would you, in terms of this, for instance, this phenomenon that happened now, like that's like almost like a civilian, not civilian, but like government/civilian movement for welcoming people. Who started it exactly, and was it like, was there any entity coordinating all the efforts? And what exactly did you feel was the things that you could contribute mostly with?
You mean like in right now?
Right now, yes, or in the past. We're also trying to learn from this experience. If you were coordinating this at the time, or if not, what were the things that you think were important? Like, I imagine like one of them is exactly how to coordinate efforts. This is something that I feel that often is missing, that everyone wants to help, but everyone is a little bit like in an island. So trying to do things alone, and there's a lack of like bridging these gaps. How did you deal with that, especially when it's a movement of so many entities?
Wonder, like, are you asking about how we are coordinating the situation right now in
amongst each other? Yes. How do you make sure that the efforts are? Is there anyone coordinating this? Efforts?
That would be actually more to Marianne, who is hanging on on the Zoom calls regularly. But there has been established a group, basically people who were interested in somehow contributing to and helping, which has been meeting every week in the beginning. Right now, I think that's every other week or something, where the themes and the needs are discussed and between those people, and everyone who has something to contribute just comes up, and so everybody is informed about who is doing what, and if somebody offers some sort of a service, you just point them out to them.
Yes. Okay.
And so that you don't double whatever is happening. Which what was the profile
of the people that you were dealing with in this case?
What was
where were these people coming from? Was it also?
Yeah, they are. I think that they are mostly from Ethiopia.
Okay.
Like that's the largest group, where there's also a conflict, but it doesn't get that much press.
Yes.
So, you know,
that's why I think it was important to bring both these experiences, because one is like much more close to us right now, but I think different will be dealing with this, unfortunately, with other circumstances as well. And in terms of like logistically, what was the thing that you felt that it was most important to respond to, in first in a practical level, and then on like soft skills? What kind of support did you manage to also give to the people more on like on an emotional level, if that happened?
Yeah, I would talk a little bit more general right now, because that's where I'm like fusing experiences from my entire life. The immediate response is always the basics, like having somewhere to stay,
yes,
healthcare, you know, enough food, whatever. From artist point of view, we have prepared art packs with all sorts of creative, I don't know, brushes, paints, and stuff like that, so that anyone who is interested, we can just grab one and do their thing. We have some online classes and stuff like that anyone can follow, and we have offered spaces for free on some of the workshops. We've been also talking about like outreach, that some artists were interested in going to the place and delivering some sort of a workshops, but it hasn't materialized just yet, because the first thing was to set those people to have a medical care, to start learning English, to have everything what they needed. So now we're getting to the phase where actually they need to use the time somehow in the town, and that's where boom is coming, I suppose. But yeah, but we are at this moment in the process of applying for some funding and stuff like that, so that we can run and drop in sessions where the locals and everyone can meet and make some art or do whatever together.
Yes,
Would be really nice.
the community exchange.
Yeah. What I found really important is basically not to or to mix the local community and the people who are coming, whatever status they have, so that they can meet each other, do something together, and it doesn't feel really like they are doing a charity or delivering a service to a particular group, but it is get together, we are all on equal terms, and we are just meeting and having some sort of conversation together, or doing some sort of activity. So that's what I
tools that you use to overcome this, to put people on the same level, and to not have this gap between the people, and to put them together. What were the activities? You had one type of activities, or gathering through food, which usually is something that
it can be just as simple as including those people in the activities that are already running, you know, and just don't separate it in somehow. But I have also seen in the past a place where actually asylum seekers were encouraged to deliver their own activities to the community, which was very interesting. And there was, I had a feeling personally that at that point, the difference between who comes from what background was completely blurred. You didn't know, you didn't know who was asylum seeker, who was local, unless you knew them personally, which was really nice. And I would like to point that one thing in this, why is it important? Because if you are providing some sort of social service or care or whatever, you put yourself in something what people don't talk about, but it is really important. You are in a position of power. You are delivering something to somebody. You have the resources and you are giving them to somebody else. And that can create a lot of issues, also emotionally, but also like on the level that, trust and all those things. But if you try to even it up a little bit more, it's certainly like empowers the people who are coming and who are receiving the services or whatever. And if they can contribute somehow, it helps them to restore some sort of normality in their life, because before they got into this situation where they were perfectly capable people who were doing their jobs, having their lives, and they had certain status in the society where they were and stuff like that. Once you happen to be a refugee, a lot of it is basically taken away from you.
Yes.
Which is incredibly difficult to deal with. It is a very big challenge. And
yes, I think that's why it's very relevant to talk exactly about these things, like more on like the soft level, on like under the surface, you know. So these are the kind of things like the confidence of people that I think is shaken, besides, you know, like the trauma that they're bringing probably, and like restoring the confidence and their self-esteem and all of this. I think besides the possibility to actually build new skills, you know, like on another level, a more technical level, to help them build new skills so they can adapt maybe in a new job or a new reality, because maybe the skills they had are not applicable in the new reality. But this emotional and making sure this is addressed, I think, is something that is really really important. And I remember we talked about this, and it's something that I thought like it would be really important to highlight in this moment.
I also want to add that what we have done here is that we started to look for professionals and for people that can have, so we organized trainings with a person that has an academy in Odessa, for example, Academy of Leadership. And he organized some trainings, and even he got some money. So we somehow offer them the platform in order to become known here. We had a course with a writer, also from Odessa, and she organized a workshop on storytelling and on how to write books and copywriting. And now we will have this a course. Also, we invited, because as I said, in Moldova and the Ukrainians, we know that they are very, in general, I think people have a lot of skills and are professionals, and we try to involve them and to have some benefits as a community, as Moldovan community, because in general to invite these kind of professionals is not so easy for us. And what we had a great partnership with DEC Camp. This is also an organization that organizes activities for children in Ukraine. So they are we are providing them the space, and they are organizing activities, different master classes and workshops for children. And what we have achieved is that people get know with these people, with these professionals on the side. Another side, they earn some money, and this is also important. Another side, what we understood from Moldova is that what are we going to do if the war will come in Moldova, and if we have to go in an European country. And we understood that we don't have this digital, not that we don't have, but we lack some digital skills that can help you to find a job fast, yes, to find some jobs. And this made us to react, and we started to organize trainings for, we named them Express Design course, or copywriting Express copywriting course, or filmmaking Express. So all of them are last 2 weeks. They are very intensive, and after this course you have a skill that for sure will help you to, if you will be in this situation that are our neighbors now, you at least you'll be able to earn some money. And this is very important, and that I like to say that these trainings are very popular, and they are very, very successful. People understood that this is important, and this is how we reacted. We also announced a program, creative residency program, that we are inviting communities, creative communities in Moldova for creating some new content. And I'd like to say that we didn't mention that this has to be somehow related to Ukrainian, to the war, to Ukrainian refugees, to Ukrainian professionals, but 80% of all the projects were related to Ukrainian. So people themselves want to help and
Yeah.
to create content, to create some documentary films, some pictures, so to have this content in order to help Ukrainian refugees. And then what I'd like to mention and to highlight that the society is very open to help and to be involved in this.
Thank you so much.
I would just add one thing which I think is different with people coming from Ukraine, is that most countries, I think that all countries actually, Ukrainian refugees have a completely different status than any other refugees before. They are allowed to work, which is absolutely fantastic for them, so that you can do your work and support them in, I don't know, making money or whatever, as you said, which is brilliant. And I wish everyone had that, to be honest. But yeah, so in this situation, the situation in Ukraine is horrible, and it is terrifying for everybody, I suppose. But from the position of Ukrainian refugees who are coming to wherever, Moldova, Poland, Czech Republic, where I'm from, they are generally being welcome and being supported in the right way right now, which I'm kind of hoping that it will reflect the future refugee crisis in some way as well, that we will see that this is the way how to go, and this is the way how to support people to make their own lives.
I think it's definitely different levels of challenges here. Other situations involve like,
and also
the training and giving, like technical, like ways for people to develop their own skills and jobs eventually in the future, so they can, like providing for themselves, not just about an economical situation. It's also, of course, how well they feel for themselves. I think this is something common, that everyone just wants to provide for their family, like wherever you come from. That's like absolute universal truth. Everyone just wants to be self-reliable somehow. Now this, I'm going to introduce also, I'm going to invite someone to share a little bit of the experience. This was, it was not in a program exactly, but I'm very happy that we have Michaela with us. Michaela is from one of our Ukrainian hubs from iZone. We've been trying to get in contact for a while, and of course we couldn't hear from them for a while, and I was really happy, and I was really emotional when I saw your email last night. That's why I couldn't invite you properly to actually talk a little bit, but as you have agreed, would be very happy to listen to whatever you want to share with us. If it's like ways to help, if you want to give a little context, a little bit of context of what's going on, we've been more than happy to listen to you. And thank you so much for joining us today as well.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. And first of all, of course, I want to thank you all so much. Thank so much to Viorica, to Gabriela for what you're doing. And it sounds amazing, every time I hear the level of support and empathy and things that people are doing, it's just so amazing, and it's so crazy. Even like months ago or 2 months ago, you wouldn't imagine that so much support and so much love is coming from all of our friends across the border. It's really crazy. Yeah, thank you so much again. We our hub is not working obviously right now. We were located in Kiev, and recently the building was commissioned by the protection of Kiev, by the military, so it's not accessible at this moment. We hope we will be able to restore it after the victory. But of course, all the people are moving and traveling everywhere. A lot of people are in Ukraine. we are trying to organize support to smaller communities, because situation is really similar to what Viorica, for example, described. There are a lot of small towns in the west of Ukraine which immediately became much more populated, like 1,000 people traveling there, and it's really hard and unexpected for them. So we're trying to organize support, and this is actually happens thanks to European Commission, which allowed us to use some of the money that we were planned to use for our cultural projects for humanitarian needs. So we are organizing refugee centers, buying washing machines, beds, and it's really crazy and unexpected, something that we never did before. And of course there are a lot of people who are traveling abroad. We mostly artists. One of the main focus of our work is artistic work. So a lot of different cultural centers are hosting artists or providing them with opportunities to do something or to participate in projects. But one thing which is really important, and this is something that we are discussing a lot with our friends from in Ukraine, thinking about ways that we can present our friends in the West, is actually the fact that there are a lot of people who are staying in Ukraine, who are not leaving, and there are interesting formats like of online residencies, for example, of things like this that also can be done for those who are staying, like in Kiev and Dnipro, in Kharkiv, everywhere. For example, our friends from Slovakia, from Žilina, they organize this, well, I can call it a virtual residency. They basically invited an artist to come up with idea, with a drawing of an installation that they built themselves in front of their cultural center. But the idea was just to get some money from their budget, to give it to an artist in Ukraine, and then to have this kind of installation built in front of their center. So I mean, this is also a format that can be used with organizations that don't have capacity to host people or to organize other kinds of support. And also one thing that we've been trying to do with other centers is to organize this kind of fundraising events. This is well, there is this website, Tagflix. It used to be a streaming service for Ukrainian movies, and they got rights to screen these films everywhere. So you basically need to send them a mail, and they will give you the film. It's all legal. They completely have all the rights, and the idea is to host this kind of screenings with a little fundraising for different humanitarian funds, which is really easy format. And we organized maybe around 20 events, like everywhere, which is interesting that most of requests we received from Italy for some reason, lots of requests from Italy, but still, there were events in Denmark, in the UK, in France, like in different places too. So it's also like a format for people who
that's very interesting, Mikhailo. Then if you also want to share like the link or something on the comments, that would be lovely, because I think everyone can then use that information.
Yeah, I'm sending
Go
it
on,
here.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, don't worry. Yeah, so I mean, there are different formats, and it's really interesting. And basically, this is why I'm here. And also, I wanted to thank Rita and the whole network for organizing this series of events, because again, now that a lot of organizations are coming to us and asking what they can do, what is there a format, what they can do with their resources. And I think it's really great to have this kind of overview and experience exchange to see what can be done with, well, pretty much limited resources. Cultural organizations, they are not corporations that have a lot of money to, do some grand projects. And it's also really great to see that people, even with limited resources, want to contribute and to do something.
Yes, I think the part of like wishing to do things, it's sometimes more powerful than having an unlimited budget to do, like people who are committed to doing something, they're very powerful, no matter like how much limited, they can do magic with limited resources. And I think that's the most fascinating thing about this kind of responses. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And this is, I think, a great opportunity also for all of us who are here to try to access directly with you, because I think the challenge is always like everyone wants to help, and unless you're dealing with this directly, as such as the case of Artcor in neighboring countries, that like they can give an immediate response because it's there, the people are there, and so it's like in a way easier to understand how you can be helpful. But for a lot of us who are like in more distant countries, for instance, either as individuals or creative hubs, if you want to also to give us your feedback, and besides the suggestions you gave already, this is something that's like I at least was not aware of, like actually giving activities to the creatives who decided to stay, and allowing them to also have something to participate on while they chose to stay. But besides this, what is your take on this? Do you have any other things that are you working also with other creative hubs? With the people staying in Ukraine?
Well, yeah, there are most of organizations that are in Ukraine. All of the organizations, they changed their activities and they became this kind of humanitarian missions, basically, helping people, organizing any kind of social support. Sorry, it's a helicopter. Yeah, social support, organizing some events and so on. And for example, our friends from Dnipro, this is Dnipro Center for Contemporary Culture. It's a big new venue that was launched 2 years ago, I think. They turn it now into big social hub and doing pretty much what has been doing by our guests here today, like organizing programs for kids, for adults. They proposed all the different organizations to use their office for free, just to help them not to pay the rent at this moment and things like this, which is really helpful. And I know that a lot of organizations that, for example, were doing architecture or urbanism, they now working in the west of Ukraine, trying to recover old buildings. In Kiev, there was this place called Cortes 13, I think. And there was a group of architects working on different projects, and now they're restoring old what is this word? Old place for students. There's dormitory. Yeah, old dormitory.
Yes.
To use it as a place for people who move to the West. So I mean, there are a lot of great initiatives. No one, unfortunately, of course, no one can do whatever they used to do, but everyone is trying to contribute somehow. One of this worst situation, of course, in Mariupol, which is basically erased, and it's in a horrible situation. 2 centers, 2 platforms that launched their youth educational program, which is pretty much similar to Creative Hub. They started to build Fab Lab and having this kind of programs there. They managed to leave, and I think they're working in Zaporizhia right now, and also trying to help everyone who is leaving the city. So this basically how this landscape of Ukrainian organizations look like at this moment.
Okay, and did this from these organizations, because this was something we had been discussing before, because we tried to have ideas, especially with Luca, which is from ECHN, the person who is closest to this reality. Luca was working for many years in this in Ukraine and neighboring countries, so he's more aware of the reality. We sometimes try to come up with suggestions of things that would be interesting, but we don't know if this is the case, because of course we were just imagining like scenarios, and one of them was exactly if some of these hubs would like to, as hubs, resettle somewhere new. And sorry, if this was something that's that made sense somehow at all, you know, if or if on the other hand, you know, people just want to, if they have to relocate as a space and community, they want to relocate somewhere close to home. So
Yeah, I think there is, well, yeah, I mean, there is no relocation like of the whole organizations, you know, like for example, us, we are scattered around Ukraine, you know, we are not located in one place right now. And yeah, I think there's barely any city with two people from the same organization at this moment. So it's really hard to get together. Maybe Lviv is the only exception, because there is a lot of people who move there. But apart from this, it unfortunately doesn't looks like you know, there is a big group that would move somewhere to work. But I mean, it's still possible. It depends on organizations, and it's, you know, it's something that is better to discuss and propose on per organization basis.
yeah. But this is also something like we can also leave you with the open doors with the things that we have discussed, and then if you feel like this is of use, or you know, that can be helpful at some point, you know, for you to also feel free to reach out and connect and build these bridges. And I would like to have more people making your own questions. You know, we're a small group, so I think this makes it also very comfortable to open up the discussion here for everyone who joined today for this insight. So feel free to unmute yourselves and join the conversation. There's no first question. We can go straight to the second question. It's always easier.
But I have a suggestion. If we have annually in June, beginning of June, we have the Creative Industries Festival that we are organizing, and now we are Artcor has a sister hub that its name is MediaCore. It's already opened, and we have spaces for film production, for some studios, and we want to organize this festival online, offline, for connecting people. And if first of all, this is a call for you. If you think that you want to be part of this festival, I am inviting you. Also, if you have some, Michaela, if you have some suggestions of this, for example, as you said, for some installations or how we can connect Ukrainian artists, we are open to do this. And also, if you have some speakers, or we are also very open to, and if you are not afraid, of course, to come in Moldova, we are inviting you. But also we can organize all these activities online.
Thank you. Yeah, if you don't mind, I will ask you to share your email or something on contacts. Thank you.
You can do this already directly here if you want to put your open emails here. Otherwise, or if, you know, at some point you remember later that you want to contact someone that was here, I'm also happy to do this in case you miss out. I'm also going to put my email here just in case. And then everyone else, all the guests, feel free to also jump in and throw your questions or comments on this.
Okay,
maybe, oh, sorry.
Okay. Hi, my name is Kasia. Maybe I'll go first. I am from Poland, from central Poland, from Łódź, and I work in Art Incubator, the incubator for creative industries. It is a project organized under City Culture Institution, and I wanted to say about our support that we organized for Ukrainian families, because when this war happened, we decided to act immediately, like everyone in Poland and in our town. Especially, I feel that our town is very open for Ukrainian families, and we, together with the whole cultural society and our partners that we have, we organized a lot of stays. We asked a lot of people to open their homes to host Ukrainian families, but also to organize a playroom for children and mothers especially. So we have a huge, because we are our incubator is in post-industrial space, so we have a lot of large spaces, and in one of them we've opened the playroom that is open for everyone. It was dedicated at the beginning for Ukrainian kids, but then a lot of people asked if they can come too, so it became a very nice space for children to integrate with Polish children also, and we have a lot of kids coming there every day. It is free. We have like a space for mothers where they can just sit and talk. We have computers and prints, because there was a lot of paperwork at the beginning to get this Polish ID. So they could come to our space, use the computers and print the forms. And now the kids are obviously using them to play. And we have also like a small space where they can have coffee or tea or just eat some sweets. And we also support directly, like for families, because we have creative rooms for our creatives, and we decided to open them for Ukrainian families. So they actually live in our incubator and use those rooms as their homes, as for now. And one of them, Olga, is taking care of the playroom and all the kids. And when we saw that a lot of kids started to use the playroom, we decided to organize like creative workshops for them. And we were also able to ask very young Ukrainian girl who was doing those creative activities in Ukraine. So every, I'm sorry, somebody is calling my door. So she's doing those creative workshops 2 hours a day. We also have during those creative activities possibility to meet with a psychologist, so mothers can leave the children under Viorica and just spend the time together with the psychologist. And we also decided to open a bank account so everyone can donate money. So we'll be able to do more support and to organize more creative activities. So this is why I am speaking right now, because if you feel it is possible to share in your networks information about this bank account, like people who you know or in your networks could just donate some money, and we could use it to.
This is something I'll be happy also to spread, to put up an email together, explaining exactly what are the kind of activities that you're putting together, and within our network, at least, calling our members to also contribute to, because it's obviously one of the ways to support the places who are working directly with the people who are hosting the people. So thank you so much, Katerina. Cohen left. Oh, okay. So maybe he will come back. I don't know if anyone else wants to.
Just jump into it a little bit. I was inspired when I heard Mikhailo speaking. If you know about anybody who is looking for whatever support in Czech Republic or Slovakia, you can just drop me an email and I can spread it with my network. I have Northern Ireland's not the most obvious place to do this, but I'm originally from the Czech Republic and I know a lot of people, so I can try to help. So if that sort of a need arises, then I'll just drop my email here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gabriela. I don't know if anyone else. Yeah, I'm here. I'm just going to read the messages from Elsa, who left as well, and Ariana. Non-working microphone, that happens, Ariana. Ariana's from Advanced in Milano. We started collaborating with refugees, welcome and helping families and refugees conduct a smooth co-living experience. I like to organize any kinds of meetup in our spaces someday in a very easy and informal way. I have thought about workshops, embroidery or woodworking, or a tea party. I'm putting it together in these days, and I'll be happy to stay in touch and see what you guys will organize. Ariana, thank you. From Fairuz, thank you for coming anyway. Fairuz, maybe she left already. Anyway, I will have all of your contacts together, so I'd be happy to put an email, well, at least with the ones who participated today. I'll put an email together with all of you, at least. We had here people that were also Jörn from Museum Gelvind. Thank you so much for all of you who made it today, and for the ones who came to share their stories. And it was such a nice surprise that we had also Mikhailo contributing to this conversation. Really, thank you so much for taking the time. And as you realize, like, there's many people that are more than happy and to contribute somehow. So this is obviously also like a totally open thread for you to reach out, directly, or to anyone that you feel might need some of this. Justine, you're all sharing your contacts. Thank you. If you can share your contacts directly, that would make it easier, because we had a lot of, we had 55 people signing up for this event. So if I can have already your emails here, well, the ones in our members, I have your email, so it's fine. I'm calling out more for the people who are not in the network yet. Ariana, thank you. Yes, because actually Ariana is usually not my contact point at base. I would get to your email, but this makes it easier. So, okay, we'll put also the links that were shared here today, like your suggestion of the movie screenings. I thought this was a brilliant idea actually. So, and like very easy to put together and replicate. So from my side, I would like to thank you all once again. I think it's a wrap. It was lovely to have you all here today, and we hope to have this session in a couple of days, weeks maybe, with 2 other guests, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All the best to Ukraine.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Bye.
For the victory.
Thank you so much, Mikhailo. Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.